Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for the new screensavers is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com. The new screensavers is brought to you by Braintree. If you're working on a mobile app and searching for a simple payment solution, check out Braintree. With one easy integration, you can offer your customers every way to pay, period. To learn more and for your first $50,000 in transactions, fee-free, go to BraintreePayments.com/NSS. And by the Ring Video Doorbell. With a built-in HD camera and microphone, you can monitor your front door from anywhere in the world using your smartphone. It's like being home, even when you're not. Right now, get $10 off the Ring Video Doorbell when you go to ring.com/NSS. And by ProXPN. ProXPN is a virtual private network that allows you to use the internet the way it should be, anonymously and without oversight. Save 50% off the monthly price with a 12-month subscription. Go to proxpn.com/twit and use the code NSS50 at checkout.
A victory for dancing babies everywhere, making you ready for World Maker Faire and virtual reality in space. Live from the Twit Brick House in beautiful downtown Petaluma, it's the new Screensavers.
Well done. What a beautiful... Hey, Rafe Needleman.
Leo.
I don't see you very often. Yeah. It's Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Arr.
Arr. I even brought me parrot, Polly. This is going to get annoying fast, isn't it? Fortunately, she has a switch right up here, and now she's quiet. Hello, everybody. I'm going to... You could take this off now.
Killed your parrot.
She's not dead. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the new Screensavers. I'm Leo Laporte. That is Rafe Needleman. Congratulations on the new gig.
Thank you so much.
What's your new title?
Editor-in-Chief of Maker Media.
Oh,
we do Make Magazine and the Maker Fairs and Maker Shed and all that stuff.
We love that. In fact, we're doing a little making a little later on, right?
We are. I got Mike Sinise here. We're going to build cool stuff.
Neat.
Yeah. On stage.
I can't get the parrot. You glued the parrot mount on my shoulder.
Nailed it to your shoulder.
And what's this? Ah! Okay, I'm taking off my pirate regalia. Coming up on today's show, it is Talk Like a Pirate Day. How did that get its start? Talk Like a Pirate Day. It seems to be an internet meme. I remember on the old Screensavers having a parrot attached to my shoulder.
It's the Pirate Council. They are very powerful.
They're big. They're big.
Yeah.
The International Pirate Council. Rafe is going to talk, as we talked about Maker. Maker Faire is coming up in New York soon, right?
Next weekend, New York Maker Faire. It's going to be huge.
Fun. And stay tuned. We might have a deal for you. The Library Freedom Project will talk about what they're up to in New Hampshire. Live free or die.
Or tour.
Or tour. Well, one or the other. And if you want to go in space, the people from Space VR are here. You heard about this. This is so cool. They want to attach a virtual reality camera on the International Space Station so you can go. I cannot wait. We're going to find out more about that in just a bit. But let's get started. And Denise Howell is here. She is our resident attorney. Hello, Denise.
Hi, Leo. Hi, Rafe.
Host of This Week in Law. And we wanted to talk about actually, there's a couple of court decisions I wanted to talk to you about, but let's start with the dancing baby decision. This is a huge victory for fair use, I'm told.
Yes, it's a very good validation of the role and importance of fair use. It tells rights holders that they are required to consider fair use before they send a takedown notification. That's the big takeaway from this case.
Huge. This started with a video of a 3-year-old toddler dancing around, cute little YouTube video. Happened to have "Let's Go Crazy," Prince's song in the background, which made it cute, except Prince's people issued a takedown. And did they actually go after damages from this 3-year-old baby? Aw. Denise, are you still there? Did we lose you?
Sorry, yes, no, you cut out at the end there. Did they go after who?
Damages from the baby?
No, and in fact, it wasn't Universal Music who sued here. It was Stephanie Lenz, being the mom who took the video, being represented by EFF.
Ah.
Yes.
So
because
why this case? What was so special about this particular case?
Well, the baby is not the only one who was dancing here. They also did the dance of the DMCA notice and takedown process.
All right.
So there was a takedown notice sent that Stephanie Lenz and EFF contested.
I see.
And so they went back and forth, and the video got reinstated, and Universal just backed down. There was never one thing to remember about this case is no one ever made a determination. There's no court decision on the books that says that if you post a video of your cute dancing children and there is copyrighted music in the back.
Turn off the Prince music. We're gonna get a takedown.
Yes.
Now, is this incident?
No one has said it's okay to have a backing track or anything else, and that's absolutely fair use. That's not the takeaway from this case.
Okay.
So
this isn't
all those folks who are worried that they have music in their videos can continue to be worried. But
great. Thanks.
Yeah.
So, but this looks like a Streisand effect case if I've ever seen one. There were 1.7 million views on that little toddler dancing toddler,
which no one would have looked at hadn't this been a cause célèbre. But now, is this fair use? Was she using it as a musical backing, or was it kind of incidentally in the background?
Well, it's really hard to make that determination of what is fair use, and no court has made that determination in this case. What happened was Universal just didn't take the follow-up step and sue her.
Right.
Once the video was reinstated, it stayed up, and then she sued them with EFF's help because there is a provision in the DMCA that if a takedown notice is sent without the rights holder having a good faith belief that the video is infringement and not authorized, either because they've specifically granted authorization or authorized under the law. And that's the real key part of this case here. The court latched onto that language in the statute and said, well, if you're going to consider whether it's authorized under the law, you have to consider whether it's fair use. Universal, it does not seem, did that here. This case will still go to trial, and Universal has an argument that it makes that, well, everything we did didn't talk about fair use, but really it was tantamount to considering fair use. So we might be okay still. There will still be a trial, or there could still be a trial if the parties don't settle.
So again, the key part of this was that the court said a rights holder has to consider fair use before the takedown. In the past, fair use has always been considered a defense as opposed to something proactive that you would have to consider beforehand.
That's right. So it really puts the burden on the rights holder if you're going to be sending a whole lot of takedown notices, if you're going to be canvassing YouTube and other sites to see if your work is there, as so many people do, you are going to have to build into your review process something that gives you a paper trail that says, oh, yeah, we considered fair use.
Right.
So a frivolous takedown notice is against the law.
In other words, it can't be frivolous.
Yes.
Right?
And if it is, then you can sue the person who sent the takedown notice,
countersue,
which is good.
Is fair? Where is fair use codified? Is there a fair use law?
There is. The Copyright Act was actually amended in 1978 to specifically make fair use part of the copyright statute. So it's there, and it very squarely identifies itself as not just an affirmative defense, something that you can put up and say, oh, it's okay, it would have been infringing, but here I'm doing fair use. Fair use is actually described in the law as not an infringement, and that was an important part of this decision as well.
There are 4 tests, as I remember, for fair use. Does anybody remember what those are?
I should know.
Denise, what are the tests?
tires, that might be more more fun.
Yeah.
But there are 4 fair use factors. If the use is the purpose and character of the use is the first factor. So that you often hear people discussing, well, is it transformative? You hear people talking about whether parody is involved, whether the commercial use is involved. That's under purpose and character of your use. Then courts also look at the nature of the copyrighted work. So things that are more factual in nature, things that are not a fictional work, but a more factual work might be treated differently for fair use purposes. The amount and substantiality of the portion taken. So if you've used almost the entire allegedly infringing work, then that's going to count against you. And then the final one is the effect of the use upon the potential market. So a good example of this would be folks who go to YouTube to listen to music and just, play track after track with whether there are pictures behind the video or not, but it's just a way to listen to music. That's not boding well for you under the fair use factors.
The way it's expressed there, it even says the judges must consider. It's literally a judgment call, right? There isn't a specific clear-cut definition. The judge gets to decide.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fuzzy, yes.
Yeah.
And it definitely is something that's examined on a case-by-case basis. So the burden on rights holders here to decide, they don't have to decide if something is or is not fair use. They just have to show that they've considered it and made a good guess about whether fair use is going to apply or not,
right,
and then acted on that. And if they've done that, then they've met their burden.
If I were Stephanie, the mom, I would say, well, you've got to show me that you lost record sales because of this, because the quality is terrible. No one would ever be considered, oh, I don't have to buy Let's Go Crazy because I could just listen to this video over and over again. That seems on the face of it to be kind of...
Well, or Universal have to show that it was an intentional infringement.
But no, but even if it doesn't cost them any, like
right,
if you can't show that there was any damages, there's no harm, right?
So they were harassing her as well, and she has to say, you were harassing me because obviously there was no harm.
Yeah. This is why we don't let...
unfortunately, copyright law doesn't work that way.
Yeah, this is why we don't let amateurs do the law, right?
I guess
you
not.
and me, Rafe.
Because of what you're saying, you're on the right track. Because of what you're saying, it would be difficult to demonstrate how damaged you were. The copyright law actually has statutory damages so that you can take out the guesswork. If you opt to go under the statutory damages provision, you just get what the statute says, and they're high.
You said an important thing, though. If you're worried about using music in your YouTube videos, this doesn't mean you should stop worrying.
Right.
Doesn't mean you should do one thing or the other.
It doesn't change.
Just don't stop worrying. Don't
just worry.
No, I can't sing that. No.
Don't stop worrying.
Yeah.
Denise, as usual, clear as mud. But thank God we've got This Week in Law to dissect and understand these so much better. I love the show, and we're so glad that you're part of our Twit family. And thank you for coming on once again to try to explain to us amateurs what's going on.
You're so welcome, and I was certain that all the pirate festivities today were in honor of the fact that we had Jeff E. Cohen, Chunk from the Goonies, on This Week in Law yesterday.
Did you really?
Yes.
Is Chunk a lawyer now?
Was in the house, and Chunk is a lawyer, yes.
Holy cow. Well, at least...
And check in on Chunk.
Must watch. A must watch from Friday's This Week in Law. Thank you, Denise Howell. We appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome. Have a great show.
Thank you. I was watching Renee Ritchie's Instagram feed yesterday, and he was at the Apple store, and he said, look, the new iPad mini is here. And I went, what? So Lisa and I did a little field trip. We ran over to the Apple store.
Is that one?
This is the new iPad Mini. I don't know if Apple announced an availability date for it, so they just kind of snuck it into the stores. I got the gold model. It's, this is essentially an iPad Air 2 shrunk down to an 8-inch form factor. Which
is what they should have done when they announced the iPad Air 2.
Yeah.
But then they did the last Mini, which was basically the old Mini with a new the fingerprint sensor.
Right.
And this one is the. I thought they were going to kill the Mini.
I didn't buy the 3. I like this size. I really do. It's ironic because I'm also very interested in the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, which will be out in a few months.
You're a man of extremes.
But this is great for carrying in your purse or in the car. And anytime you want to have an iPad kind of little light iPad lying around. I've always preferred the mini, so I was glad to see this. There's not much to say about it. It's, you know, it's like an iPad Air 2 shrunk. Yeah, but it gets the job done. Now, this starts at $499 like any iPad. I got the LTE 128 gig version, so that set me back a pretty, like 800.
You could get a laptop for the price of that thing. It's a good one, too.
Well, or you could get ready for this, 18 Kindle Fires. This is the new Kindle Fire tablet.
Yep.
I saw this, the 6-pack, right? I thought, well, who's going to buy a 6-pack? Turns out my employees are buying 3 6-packs. Father Robert put out an email to everybody and said, "Hey, they're only $50. Who's in?" And how many is it now? It's going to be 18.
Yeah. And a 6-pack is
6 Fires.
Yeah, but it's like less than getting them individually. It's
yes.
Like you buy 5, you get 1 free, and they're only $50 to begin with.
So it's a really good deal. In fact, those 18 will cost less than this one iPad Mini.
That's insane.
So now who's smart? That's insane. It makes me wonder what was I thinking?
That is still that's a.
You know what? I love it.
An awesome machine. I have the Air 2, which is that but bigger, and it's my main media machine. I absolutely love that computer, but it's very expensive.
Everything Apple does is pricey. I mean, the iPhone 6s Plus that I bought is over $1,000 because they get away with it.
Yep.
Apple fans will pay apparently any price, but when you start seeing phones like the Moto X Pure for $400 or the OnePlus 2 for $400, you start to wonder, are we overpaying for this stuff? I guess you can call me a iSheep. That's the new term for it.
Well, a lot of people are.
Would you help me on this? Because I think you know a little bit. It's time for a call for help. Steve Johnson's on the line from Johnstown, New York. Hi, Steve.
Big fan since Tech TV Day, so I appreciate the opportunity.
It's great. Welcome. And I take it they've cleaned up after the flood. It's all the debris gone and everything?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, we're good.
What year was that Johnstown flood? You know the Johnstown flood, no?
I don't have a clue. not a clue, but we're going to say they've cleaned up. The streets look well. We're moving on.
What can Rafe Needleman and I do for you?
So basically, I'm just looking for some advice on what type of NAS or regular external hard drive to use. Mm-hmm. The scenario and the criteria, I have a large safe. It has a power outlet, a USB, and a Cat5 port with a pass-through from the outside of the safe to the inside. My idea was to run networking Cat5 cable from the desktop to the safe and keep 1 to 2 hard drives with different drive letters, not mirroring each other, but different drive letters in the safe. I'm not looking to create a mirror of my desktop drive, but rather run a periodic one-way copy of certain folders and files to the safe.
A backup.
Yeah, I'm currently using a program called GoodSync, which basically just copies A to B. Mm-hmm. This way I have a relative, recent, up-to-date local copy. It's not my only backup. I use Carbonite.
Good.
I use routine off-site copies.
Good. Mm-hmm.
This is basically just to cover the in-betweens.
Yeah, they call it nearline or backup, which is something you can access so quickly that if there's an emergency, you can get a file back.
Plus, I assume that's a fire safe that it's in.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a really smart idea.
That's clever.
You can now get safes that have cable
ports
pass through, so you can put your data in there. So when your house burns down, you go and recover the safe, and you got your hard drive. It's still there.
What a clever idea.
Yeah.
NAS is what, Rafe?
Network attached storage. I don't know if but you're talking about a safe here that has networking pass-throughs, not USB pass-throughs.
It has both, but I'm thinking I'm going to have to use network just because of the distance for it.
So, of course, putting a hard drive in the safe and connecting it by high-speed USB is the easiest and cheapest thing to do because hard drives are really inexpensive.
But USB only goes maybe 30, 40 feet, right?
If that, yeah, that's the issue. So if you can run a network into it, then you can put in a network-attached storage or a network drive, which is a lot more expensive because you need the whole networking apparatus to go in there. Personally, and you also have to watch out for heat when you put a drive in a tiny enclosure.
Yeah, I mean,
so I would use a laptop.
You have a fire inside, not just outside. Yeah.
You toast your drive.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, I would put
that has a USB connector coming out of it but it's still a fire safe.
Yeah,
That is
awesome.
wild.
So I would use something that has a laptop drive because they run cool. They're not very fast, but they run cool. They won't overheat. I personally use a Synology network attached
Love
storage.
Synology.
I use the small one, the Slim, because it uses laptop drives.
And it's just 2 drives, or?
I have a 4 drive. The
Four
Slim
drives.
ones, they have 4 drive units.
Okay. So you can do RAID 5 on it.
Yeah, or Synology Hybrid RAID, which is you can plug in whatever drives you want. It just
That's
sorts
kind of
it
like
out
a
for you.
Drobo. They no longer care. They don't have to be
Right.
matching drives.
That's the
at
new
that.
version of the one I have. But you get into something like this. First of all, I have 4 drives and it's all backed up and I've got terabytes and terabytes of storage, but the price starts to add up. Or you can just throw in a drive that is, there's a OneDrive Synology product as well that uses a standard desktop size drive.
Solid state would be cool enough that you wouldn't have to worry about. There's no ventilation, I would presume, in a safe like that. I mean, it wouldn't be a
Well,
fire
again,
safe.
that's the issue. You want to make sure that this thing does
Yeah.
not run hot.
Yeah. But on the other hand, it's enclosed in a giant, thick metal case. I presume that would conduct heat.
Well, you
somewhat.
can do that. I mean, but
Yeah.
but fire safes are not made out of metal. The insulating
Oh, they're not?
material.
Ah.
I mean, there's metal on the inside, metal on the outside,
Right.
but they're insulated. The idea is to keep heat from not going in both directions.
So they hold the heat
Yes.
in. Interesting. Interesting. I think this is a clever idea. I never even thought of that. I mean, you obviously, whatever that data is you're backing up, that is mission critical data.
Let me just mention for people who are wondering about using a standard fire safe and putting a drive inside and drilling holes in and caulking it over.
That would kind of eliminate the fires.
No, it wouldn't necessarily if you
Really?
can, if you can make the holes fireproof, because you're only talking about holes for
Yeah.
cables. But most standard document fire safes actually use moisture release as a way to keep the temperature down, which can wreck your electronics. So if you're going to do a fire safe with a drive inside, you want a fire safe designed for electronics.
It's a specialized
Yes.
thing. And is that what you're using, Steve?
Yeah, it's a normal fire safe. I mean, nothing business and mission critical. It's just photos, videos. You know.
Boy, you believe
stuff
in backing up,
that's-
though. I love
Well,
hearing
I
that.
lost my honeymoon photos.
Oh, no.
You know, it wasn't my fault. I only had 8 months to back it up. So,
Short marriage?
We're overly paranoid.
So that's, I mean, but that's what happens is people don't really get serious about backup until they've lost something of value. And then suddenly they go, I don't want this to happen again.
Right.
I like this idea. So a network attached storage, choose one with solid state drives. Synology makes an excellent, that Slim Station is
Yeah,
really
you can
great.
pop the SSDs in there.
And by the way, the Synology has backup software on it. It
Yes,
will
it does.
actually go out and look at your network, and you can say, back up these drives. You don't have to put any software on your PC at all, I think.
Really?
Yeah, actually, that was a ReadyNAS, but that was the case. It's possible to have software that says, okay, I'm going to back up. Which drives do you want me to back up? C, D, and M? Okay, we're going to take care of those. And then it's very transparent. It's just doing it automatically. I love that idea. By the way, I want to correct myself. You don't have to worry about the Johnstown flood. That was in Pennsylvania, the other Johnstown.
So this Johnstown hasn't been hit yet.
This Johnstown has not been hit yet. Actually, you should worry. And it was in 1889, so probably nothing much to worry about.
Missed it by a year.
Just that much. Hey, thanks for the call, Steve.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Great
it.
to talk to you. Oh, what a good idea. I never even heard of that. Having a fire safe with a USB drive in it.
Yeah.
Do you use your NAS for backup?
I do. And like Kim, I'm totally paranoid. Plus, what do I use? What's the other one? It's set and forget. So one of the cloud services I use.
Yeah.
CrashPlan.
CrashPlan. So it's automatic. Say that's the other thing is look for a NAS that will do that as well, and then you're really golden. Does the Synology support CrashPlan directly, or do you have to do that from
The
your?
version I have will not run the CrashPlan server,
Yeah.
but you can CrashPlan to an external drive, so
Right.
you can kind of hack at
Yeah.
it, which I did.
Yeah. I would look for that as well on your NAS.
But the
Because
other
then
thing
it is set and forget.
The other thing I'll say, though, is with photos, there are so many options right now for automatic photo backup, especially if you take your photos on a smartphone. Flickr, Google,
Amazon now has,
Apple,
if you're a Prime
Amazon,
member, has
yeah.
unlimited backup.
Right. So you really shouldn't ever lose a photo, ever.
If you do, you
might
have to work
lose
at
all
it.
your bandwidth because your phone is doing 4 backups
Right.
at once.
I
but
actually,
you never lose
I
photo.
literally do that. In fact, I'm even doing it on the iPad because it's got now an 8-megapixel camera.
Yeah.
This thing. I have it backing up to Dropbox, OneDrive,
Right.
Amazon,
Apple.
Google. Apple's a little more expensive, so I don't use the iCloud photo backup.
The one that comes with the Apple, you don't
Yeah,
use the
it's too
device,
expensive.
But yeah. But
I
yeah.
save iCloud because iCloud's expensive. I save
It
that
is.
for backing up the iPad itself, not for the photos.
I see.
And Google, Google Plus. It's wonderful. Hey, if you want to be on the show, we'd love to hear from you, but you got to let us know. Here's how.
Need tech help? The new screensavers are here with answers. Email your tech questions to newscreensavers@twit.tv.
Please do that. We would love to answer your question on our next show. Our show today brought to you by Braintree. If you're a mobile developer and you're looking for an easy way to build online payments into your system, you got to check out BraintreePayments.com/NSS. Uber uses Braintree. Airbnb uses Braintree. Hotel Tonight uses Braintree. Living Social, GitHub. I can go on and on because it's a very easy way to add mobile payments that your customers want. By the way, Android Pay just launched this week. They already accept it. Bitcoin, they take that too. They take credit cards, they take Apple Pay, and you could do that with just 10 lines of code in your mobile app. In fact, if you're tired, you want to go home early, they'll even do the integration for you. They have great customer support. I want you to check out their V.0 SDK. It is literally the secret sauce in a company like Uber. I mean, the idea that you don't have to do anything to pay for that ride. You just get out of the car. That's Braintree at work. It's awesome. And they'll scale with you. They have fast payments. They are totally secure. All of this stuff you wouldn't want to do yourself. And they solve the problem of mobile cart abandonment because in many cases there isn't even a mobile cart like with Uber. It's just done. It's just handled for you. Braintree, full stack payment solution, support for all payment types including credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, Android Pay, Bitcoin, Venmo. Superior fraud protection, great customer service, and fast payouts. Have I said enough? I'll give you one more reason to do it. Go to BraintreePayments.com/NSS, and your first $50,000 in transactions are fee-free. BraintreePayments.com/NSS. Coming up, we're going to talk about the Library Freedom Project. They're putting Tor nodes in public libraries. I love this idea. But first, Robert Heron has a good reason for you to mount your TV.
I'm home theater expert Robert Heron, and you can follow me on Twitter @RobertHeron. I'm going to try to convince you that you should wall mount every TV you own. One, safety. Nothing is safer, really, in terms of protecting your investment or preventing tip over than having the TV secured to a wall surface. Now, there are a couple different types of wall mounts. Some just have generic tilt for slight vertical placement. It also helps to angle the TV so it's facing you directly for optimal brightness and viewing comfort. Also, there are mounts that actually extend out from the wall and let you rotate the TV left and right. Those are good if you plan to sit in various spots in the room and you want to make sure that you're going to get the best view possible. However, really it comes down to protecting that investment, and having that TV secured to a wall surface is one of the best ways to do it. And if you really don't like the way the stand looks that the TV is sitting on, this is a great opportunity to remove it and get rid of it once and for all.
Thank you, Robert. Now it's time to talk library freedom. The libraries, the public library system, is really one of the crown jewels for information in the United States. Love the library. You got to support the library. And today it's a lot more than a collection of books. Joining us right now, the founder of the Library Freedom Project, Allison Macrina. Hi, Allison. Welcome to the new Screensavers.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Great to see you. We're using FaceTime. Allison doesn't trust Skype because it's run by Microsoft. So I'm glad to use FaceTime anytime. My partner, Rafe Needleman, is here.
Marginally better, but you know.
I know. You know what? If you're going to do this, you know, if the NSA is watching, they probably are. All they have to do is download a show from twit.tv/NSS.
True.
So we encourage you to
also
watch.
Access to my local stuff, but we don't have to get
Oh,
into
we don't
that.
want them to do that. Not at all.
Yeah.
So first of all, tell me what the Library Freedom Project is, Allison.
The Library Freedom Project is an initiative that aims to make real the promise of intellectual freedom in libraries. And what we do is we have a number of different projects. The keystone of our work is that we train librarians and their local communities about their rights to privacy, some of the issues with the current state of surveillance, whether it's government or corporate or whatever, and also technology that they can use to take back some of their digital privacy. The Tor Exit Nodes project is something that Library Freedom Project and Tor Project are working on in partnership.
Let's talk a little bit about this because you found a library in Lebanon, New Hampshire. The state motto, live free or die, seems appropriate. and a librarian there at the Kilton Public Library who is pretty tech savvy.
My partner on the Exits project is a guy named Nima Fatemi. He's from Tor Project. He's a longtime volunteer. And he and I started talking about doing this project probably almost about a year ago. And when we were ready to get started earlier this summer, we started thinking, what would be the ideal library to host one of these exit nodes? And I immediately thought of Lebanon Libraries. I had known Chuck McAndrew, their IT librarian, for some time. Library Freedom Project had done some trainings with them. And he has a really amazing setup at his library. He has all of his computers are on GNU Linux distributions instead of proprietary Windows, like most libraries are. He's done some really great other things to protect privacy on the patron computers there. So they were really the right choice. Nima and I went and met with him and the director, Sean Fleming. We had a great talk about what Tor is and who it protects and who it supports. And they were totally on board with the project right away. So they were, for many reasons, the technical setup they have there, the relationship we already had with them, and the fact that they're in the live free or die state, we knew that they would be really excited to support some freedom protecting technology.
He's already running GNU Linux there, right?
Yeah, I know. It's incredible. It's incredible what they've done at that library. I mean, it's really exemplary among libraries.
So what makes a library a good place for a Tor node?
So it's a few reasons. The first one I want to say is the sort of ideological side of it. Libraries have, for years, named privacy as one of our most sacred core values. It's part of the ALA's core values statement. It's been there since 1939. And we've been at the front lines of privacy activism for some time as well. Librarians were some of the fiercest fighters of the USA Patriot Act when it first came out. Other librarians in 2005 were some of the first to challenge the constitutionality of national security letters with attached gag orders. They were the recipients of one. So we care a great deal about privacy in libraries, and there has been a lot of outrage from librarians after the Snowden revelations about NSA and other kinds of mass surveillance. So we know that librarians are on board with the sort of ethics behind it. Then the sort of more practical side is that libraries are already great centers of education in their communities. People go to libraries to learn all kinds of things. What we're really hoping to get libraries involved with are the exit nodes. And those are a little bit more necessary because that's the only one that's identifiable to the internet.
That's the weak link in the chain.
Well, in a sense, right? I don't want to give the impression that it's weak, security wise or anything like that. But it is because it's the identifiable point, the operator is accountable to it.
Right.
So what that means is, like, if you run an exit node and let's say you get a DMCA notice or something, a takedown notice for if there's copyrighted material that exits out of your node, an individual might have a hard time with this because she might have some difficulty convincing law enforcement, that's not my traffic.
Has any government agency tried to shut down these exit nodes at any of the libraries that are running these?
Well, that's exactly what happened at Kilton Library. So we set things up in Kilton. Kilton is a branch at the Lebanon Libraries. And things were going really well. We got some great press attention, a lot of good public support. And then about a month later, we heard from the library again, and they had been contacted by their local police, who had in turn been contacted by the Department of Homeland Security. And some things were said about Tor that made the library very hesitant about continuing with the project, and it was suspended. So we then rallied our community. We got a great piece by Julia Angwin in ProPublica about what happened in Kilton. And we wrote an open letter to the library supporting them and hoping that they would reconsider the relay suspension. And then just last week, we had the library's board met to make a final decision about what to do with the relay. And we had dozens of community members come with us, lots of people from the press, and all these folks shared their experience of either using Tor or kind of more broadly their belief in free speech and privacy and democratic values like that. And it was an incredible, overwhelming display of community involvement and solidarity. And the board decided to bring the relay back up, and it was amazing. It was a great victory
Wow.
for us. So now we have many other libraries who have seen about our great success in Kilton and want to be considered next in the project. So we're very excited about that.
The criticism, of course, from DHS and from law enforcement is that, well, and I'm not saying this, I'm just going to repeat it to you so you can shoot it down,
Sure.
is by setting up these exit nodes, you're facilitating terrorists and child pornographers. You're making it possible for them to operate anonymously on the internet. What do you say when they say that?
Well, any tool can be used for good or for bad. There is certainly some criminal activity that happens on the Tor network, but there's criminal activity that happens on public roads. There's criminal activity that happens in playgrounds. Sometimes people commit crimes wearing ski masks. It's not a good reason to ban ski masks. All the people who rely on Tor who are not criminals, journalists around the world, domestic abuse survivors, whistleblowers, activists, ordinary people who just want to opt out of pervasive government surveillance, all of those people would not have another option. So the net harm that is done to vulnerable people, people who really have a serious, sometimes life or death need for privacy, and more broadly, all of our internet freedom, all of that, there would be a great net harm to if Tor were gone. The criminals would not suffer.
One of the other things you're doing is the Library Digital Privacy Pledge of 2015. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah. So I'm working with Eric Hellman, who is from the Free eBook Foundation and also works on a few other things, Gutenberg and Unglue It. And, he's a well-known figure in the library community. Everyone loves him. We are working to get libraries to use HTTPS by default on their websites. So HTTPS, of course, is using TLS encryption for web servers. It makes it so that information that is transmitted back and forth between the user and that website is encrypted in transit, and it keeps that information safe. On library websites, this is really especially essential when you consider that folks are looking up books, they're looking for research materials. Sometimes they have logged in with their library cards, so they have some personally identifiable information connected to their searches, and we need to make sure that they are searching safely with strong encryption that protects their library viewing history from being discovered by someone who is sniffing the network traffic.
I bet you'll take donations. Where should they go?
They can go to libraryfreedomproject.org, which is HTTPS, and we do have a donate page on there, and folks can contact us if they want to learn more. There's a contact page for libraries who want to run exit nodes or are just interested in learning more about the Exit Node project. They can write to exits@libraryfreedomproject.org.
Excellent.
Or they can write to me. We're on Twitter @libraryfreedomproject. I'm on Twitter @FlexLibris. There are many ways you can get in touch. We'd love to hear from people.
I love this idea. Because one of the reasons I'm reluctant to trust Tor is because we know that some of the exit nodes are run by law enforcement agencies and spy agencies. If we could just get public libraries all over the country to run exit nodes.
But you can't pick your exit node.
Yeah.
You can pick your exit node. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your exit node.
No.
That's some of the strength of Tor is the decentralization, right?
I agree.
We're trying to bring in a institutional public resource that is trusted by the community, that cares deeply about privacy,
Nice.
that are people who are appalled by surveillance, who want to take a practical and bold stand for digital privacy and help an amazing project like Tor.
Right on, right on. In fact, Dr. Severson's going to be a guest on our shows several weeks from now. He's a busy fellow, but we've managed to get him booked. And I'm proud to say that when we launched our new website, all HTTPS.
Awesome. Nice job.
Yeah, I agree. We
Excellent.
encryption everywhere.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's great to talk to you, Allison. Thank you for the work you're doing. I think it's important.
Thank you.
And we appreciate
Thank you
your
for
time.
having me.
Thanks.
I appreciate it.
That's Allison Macrina. She's the founder of the Library Freedom Project. And I think, what do you think? I think a worthy effort.
Yeah, I'm in favor of things where you can get the information you want without telling the world what information you're getting.
Well, that's precisely why libraries are so interested in this.
Yeah.
When they started getting those national security letters saying, hey, what's that Rafe Needleman reading?
Right.
That is so offensive to a librarian, and yet they had no recourse. They couldn't even tell Rafe Needleman that they'd gotten the letter.
So this is the electronic version of that.
Right on.
Which it's difficult to do. I mean, you know, it's weird technology, but it's great.
I love it. Well, in fact, I even got confused. Oh, a Tor exit node, not a Tor browser. Okay. Hey, right now, Becky Worley's here from our friend from ABC's Good Morning America with a shortcut. Now, I know it's a first world problem, but don't you hate all caps in your Word doc? She'll show you how to get rid of it.
Hey gang, Becky Worley here, and I have a tip for you that I use all the time. And it's because first I have to make a little bit of an admission. I'm not a touch typer or typist or typer person. When I type, I actually have to look at the keyboard. I'm pretty fast. Don't get me wrong here. I can really fly. The quick brown dog jumped over the lazy fox. Yeah, I'm fast. But a lot of times I'm not looking at the screen, I'm looking at the keys. And then I'll realize, I had it in all caps. Especially working in TV, we use all caps a lot of times when we're writing scripts. And then I'll realize, oh my gosh, do I have to go back and change all that? Well, no. There's a drop down up here. It has the big A and the little a in Word, and that's how you change case. But there's an even faster way, a shortcut, some shortcut keys to do this. What you want to do is you want to highlight the quick brown dog jumped over the lazy dog, and then Function, Shift, F3, boom. It goes from, let's see, we'll start in uppercase. The next thing, it cycles through all your cases. So you go from uppercase, it'll take you straight down to lowercase. But maybe you want title case. Oh yes, all of the first letters are capitalized. Or take it right back into all uppercase. See? Function, Shift, F3, all at once. One day, you non-touch typists are going to be typing an entire paragraph and realize you've made the mistake of all caps or all lowers when you wanted all caps. You're going to Function Shift F3 and you're going to say, thank you, Becky Worley, or at B Worley on Twitter, if you want to follow me. And I hope in that moment you realize that little tip saved me a ton of time.
Thank you, Becky Worley. That's why you got to love Microsoft Word, because there's things like Function Shift Control F3. Like
well, all the other function shifts were taken. So
yeah, well, F3, that's the one to remember.
They ran on special codes.
Hey, coming up, we're going to Maker Faire's coming up next weekend. Of course, because Rafe's here, editor-in-chief at Make, he's brought along a maker, and we're going to show you some very cool projects you can make at home. But first, I got a project you could do right now to your home. It's the Ring Video Doorbell. Earlier today, well, just before the radio show went on, I heard a dung, dung, dung. That's my Ring Video Doorbell. See, wherever I am over the internet, my doorbell rings. Now, at first I thought, well, this is just going to be great because I can never hear the doorbell ring in the house. But now I realize I can hear the doorbell ring anywhere. I fired up the Ring software. I pressed accept, and there's my neighbor Bob standing there right on my porch. I say, hey, Bob, what's up? And he said, well, I wanted to talk to you. And I said, well, Bob, you know what? I'm at work right now. He said, you're at work right now? I said, yes. But I'll tell you what, I'll give you a ring when I get home. The Ring Video Doorbell is amazing. So here's the deal. If you have a doorbell, a wired doorbell, it's a very simple thing. You unscrew the wired doorbell. There'll be two wires coming out of your door. Ring gives you all the tools you need, including, you probably won't need it, a drill bit, but a screw head, the right special proprietary one and a regular Phillips. There's a level, there's a handle, everything you need to install this thing. In fact, the Ring is so cool because it has a big lithium-ion battery with a year's worth of charge in it, so you can even glue this to somewhere. I was thinking maybe outside the bedroom door would be a good place to put the Ring Video Doorbell. You can see who's knocking at your door. And it's easy to recharge. It recharges via USB, which is even more awesome. The Ring Video Doorbell then has an HD camera on it, a microphone, and speaker, so you can see, hear, and talk to anybody at your door. And it's not just if they ring your door. You can also, there's motion detection, so you can also see, and you can set it how sensitive it is, so you can see who's around your door, who's going in your door. You know, there was a news story in LA just a couple of weeks ago about a fella whose house was robbed. He had video from the Ring Video Doorbell. The police got it. They caught the guys. They caught the guys because he had the Ring Video Doorbell. I want you to try it. It's so cool. I want to put them on everything. I want to have a doorbell everywhere. It is really awesome. Give it a shot. We've got $10 off because you're watching the show if you go to ring.com/NSS. Ring.com/NSS. They say about 95% of robberies in the home occur during the day when you're at work. The bad guy comes up to the doorbell, rings the doorbell just to see if you're home. You don't answer. He goes around back and breaks in. With this, you can actually answer from work, and you have crystal clear video of him. The Ring Video Doorbell. It's kind of like caller ID for your house. I love mine. All right, let's get ready. It's time for, how many Maker Fairs are there now, Ray?
Well, there are
all
about
over.
150 Maker Fairs, from the 2 giant ones that we put on to the more than 100 mini Maker Fairs.
Neat.
And as of a few days ago, there's 650 new ones at Barnes & Noble. We're doing these little teeny micro Maker Fairs in the store.
I love it.
Yeah.
We love Make Magazine. It really has made it, empowered people to become makers, builders, parents and their kids too, which I think is really important. There's just something satisfying about doing your own project, seeing it work. And it's a great way to get kids involved in electronics. We don't want our kids just to be kind of consumers of electronics. Do you work with your son in this kind of stuff? I bet you do.
Oh my God, I'm his hero now for getting this job.
Yeah, no kidding.
But this is how I got the gig, was by teaching myself electronics and programming and the modicum of assembly skills when I was a kid and putting stuff together, and just becoming literate in mechanics and engineering. I'm no genius when it comes to this stuff, but I experimented with it, and I know.
You could tell the difference between a homemade clock and a homemade bomb, I bet
I
you.
could very easily tell the difference.
I would guess.
And let me say, by the way, that is how you start, by taking things apart and reassembling them. Then you're just like, well, what? How much more can I take this apart? And how do I build a new function in? You have to start somewhere, and even the most basic projects are great ways to reduce your fear of or discomfort with getting into the black box.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
It's shameful that people are using technology and don't have any idea how it's made. You really, at least, you got to start opening these things up and get your kids to do that. Joining us right now, Mike Sinise. He is executive editor at Make Magazine. You've got Maker Faire coming up next week in New York City.
Absolutely, super excited. Always, it's one of our 2 big shows that we do. It's always incredible lineup of makers, projects. Inspiration, it's just mind-blowing.
We're sending our resident maker out, Father Robert Balacer. He's going to be out there with a camera, and we're going to cover it and get lots of video. But you brought some projects here to show us.
Yes, yeah. So, obviously one of the main things that Make really does is inspires people to get hands-on. Everything from brand new technologies to traditional craftsmanship and the mix of everything in between.
Some of this stuff is not hard. It's pretty straightforward. In fact, this garage door opener would be pretty simple to make, I think.
Right. And so, like you were talking about the Ring just a moment ago, this Internet of Things concept, it's exploding, it's everywhere. And we recently ran a fantastic project on our site created by our video lead, Tyler Weingarner, who, like many of the Make staffers, is he's a tinkerer who's really adept with working with electronics, building fun, kind of surprising, creative projects. He had this idea: I need to open my garage door, like we all do, and I want to do it from anywhere, and I want to do it cheaply, easily, and realized, well, I've got this device. Yeah. I've got a phone with me at all times.
I carry a computer in my pocket.
Yes, a powerful computer that's
it's always connected. Yeah.
You said
always connected.
Yeah.
So why could I not just use this phone to trigger the garage door? So he built a simple circuit using Particle Core, which is a connected microcontroller board, and a service called Blynk, B-L-Y-N-K, and set it up so that whenever he presses a button on his phone, it triggers a momentary trigger in a black box that he built with a relay in it, sends the open or the close command to his garage door.
That's great.
So I actually brought, this is the box, this is the black box, and you can see the simple circuit that's inside of it.
Let me show people. So where's the particle board?
This is the particle board right here. This guy,
the red, or the thing that's mounted on the red.
Yeah, there's a breadboard there, and there's the boards mounted on it.
Okay.
Right. Yep.
That's the breadboard, and there's the particle.
And the thing that's great about this, it's this
powered by USB.
Powered by USB. It's tiny. I mean, it's the size of half of your finger, and that's a $19 board.
Does it have Wi-Fi built into it?
It has Wi-Fi built into it. So when you get this board, you configure it, you set it up, you pair it up with a device, you connect it to whatever home Wi-Fi system that you have. So if you have a password, you configure it so it's connected to your password, and then it stays connected. And if you unplug it and plug it back in,
it remembers.
It remembers and it reconnects.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Now you've got it wired down here to some. It looks like switches, relay switches.
That's right. Yeah. So there's a dual relay here, and then the reason for the dual relay for this system is if you're pressing your momentary trigger, the garage door opens or closes. It's if for some reason the power goes out, the way with a single relay that things would happen is that the relay would then trigger
and the door would open.
The door would open.
We don't want that.
We don't want that.
No. You want to be in complete control at all times.
Right. Yeah. Right. Obviously, that's not good. The dual
See,
relay,
I've learned something already.
Yeah.
Never just one. Okay, good.
Yeah. So the dual relay creates sort of a redundancy in there, so that it will only trigger or will only open when you manually control the trigger from your phone.
Now you didn't bring a garage door with you.
Did not want to dismantle Tyler's garage.
No.
As much as I thought that would be fun to do.
Next issue.
Yeah. So,
but you have a light.
Yeah. So what we did, we took a simple lamp and we cut the power cord, wired it up so that the lead of one of the power cord goes into the relay, and then I can show you that the.
So you can turn the lamp. This is basically lets you turn the lamp on. But I guess anything with a switch you could control from your phone. Huh?
Anything. Yeah. I mean, within limits of whatever your relay can handle. Obviously, you don't want to be cranking 10,000 volts through that.
What age would you say is appropriate for this? I mean, I think with a parent probably if you're under 12.
This is an Arduino compatible board.
Absolutely. Yep.
So my kid who's 9 is doing Arduino projects now.
Really?
He's also doing Little Bits projects, which is like this but easier to wire.
Yeah, there's
and
no
way more
soldering
expensive.
involved. This looks like there's some soldering involved.
There's actually no soldering on this.
No, it's a breadboard. I mean,
this
if you
is all
wanted to
just
make
plugged in.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
wow, that's pretty cool.
a smart kid, 8, 9, 10 years old.
And they couldn't hurt themselves with this, right? They just wouldn't work.
This is 120 volts that you're holding in your hand right here. But other than that, but seriously, doing this. Sorry, Mike.
Maybe the wiring to the garage would be something that.
But it's not. So a garage door switch. If you look at the push button switch inside your garage to open and close the door, that is a very low voltage signal, and that's what this does. So a kid could actually do this project without exposing himself or herself to wall voltage.
Right.
It's really a low voltage project.
That sounds great. So even a 9-year-old, a smart 9-year-old like yours, Rafe, could figure this out. That is really cool.
Yeah,
and of course with Make Magazine, or actually it's online, isn't it?
This one's on the Make site. Yeah.
That's nice.
There's a very good chance this might show up in a future issue of Make.
I love it. Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and I will give you the
demonstrate?
honor of here's the Blink app, and there's
it says do.
Hold it, click that, and hold it down.
Do. Don't do. Oh, I see. It's a relay, of course.
Yeah,
on
you
or
can
off.
hear that nice click relay.
Nice.
Our light here. It's
look at that.
Turning on and off.
That is cool. So all the details at make.com.
Makezine.com.
Makezine.com.
Yes.
What else you got?
Well, yeah,
Which
a lot
one
of
first?
fun stuff. Let's go with the noodle drone.
Noodle drone. We've made some drones here. Father Robert is a
you
bit of
haven't
a
made
maker.
this drone.
This one is a little. It's using a swimming pool noodle.
Yeah, let's put this guy right here.
That makes it safer. Maybe.
less likely to sink.
Yeah, that's right. It's a floating drone. Look at that.
This thing's great. It's created by Mark Harrison. He's a tech lead at Pixar, and Pixar has got an incredible set of creative minds that work there. We did a Maker Camp tour at Pixar last year, and it was almost like a mini Maker Faire in itself, just from the staffers there that are makers. Mark Harrison loves drones, builds a variety of different quadcopter setups. Had a challenge with a couple buddies about who could make a crash-proof, super safe drone setup. And what's more safe and less threatening than a pool noodle? So I think
actually actual noodles might be a little safer, but I don't think they're rigid enough to hold the electronics.
Depends on how long you boil them for.
Look at that.
Yeah, so this thing's great. It's you know, and part of what makes this great, along with so much of the stuff that we're talking about, the technology is getting so accessible.
It's
so
almost
easy.
off the shelf now, isn't it?
It really is. You
Yeah.
know, like you build a frame, you put your motors in the four corners. You've got a flight controller that sits right here in the center. This is a 3D robotics flight controller. You've got your GPS. So as long as you've got your flight controller situated right and everything's registering correctly, this thing is auto-correcting itself, so you've got stabilized flight. And that's
So you don't really anymore have to know how to make a drone work, because the flight controller handles the 4 different props and all of that.
Right, yeah. I mean, if we
It's
go...
just a plug-and-play part.
At this point it is, yeah. 4 years ago, 2011...
This was super sophisticated stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
You know, what's so cool about this is, you know what we owe this to this and that? Smartphones.
Yeah.
It's a miniaturization and the cheapification of amazing technology that has communications, sensors, processing power, and display technology, which we're not using here. It's all so cheap now that people are just remixing it into things you can buy: flight controllers, microcontroller boards, relay boards. We'll show you some other stuff. It's just
pretty
amazing.
amazing. So, because we've got the manufacturing capacity for these smartphones ramped up, the technology's ramped up, you can buy very inexpensive parts that can do an amazing job.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a sophisticated computer.
It absolutely is, and this is, it has a GPS sensor on it. You've got electronic speed controls. You got your radio receiver there.
If you're not doing this stuff, you're missing out. I mean,
really
why
are.
wouldn't you? This is the coolest thing ever. All right, what is this ion engine? You brought this here. I'm a little nervous about this. This thing this is demonstrating ion propulsion, right?
Yeah. So
while Mike's setting up, let me just say if you've read The Martian, and you must read The Martian.
And you must. Don't read it before you see the movie, because it'll spoil the movie for you.
The way the spaceship gets to Mars is through ion engines.
Right.
And this is real technology.
It's not sci-fi.
It's not sci-fi made up. It's the amount of power that they propose using is a little beyond what we have right now.
Right.
But the technology itself is totally real.
I'm getting nervous.
And what it does is it converts energy without...
There's not an explosion.
No
There's no
explosions.
combustion.
It shoots out
a beam of
gas, an ionized gas. So the fuel, the mass, the reaction mass is very, very lightweight, but it's shot out so fast that it becomes thrust.
Interesting.
Very small amount of thrust, but enough with the spacecraft to make a big difference. Anyway.
Right. So this project here, this is created by a super young maker. He's got college aspirations. I don't know exactly how old he is, but his name's Alex Rafe, and he put the whole project together.
I love it. He's put a sticker on this that says "Harmless Science Project." Now, if only Ahmed had done that.
Right.
It is a harmless science project.
As long as you don't touch the metal parts.
Actually, this is the least harmless science project you've got on the set here.
Oh, absolutely.
This thing could kill you.
There is a lot of potential for harm with this. Because we're dealing with some massive amounts of electricity. This black box here on the bottom is a neon sign transformer. It can go up to 10,000
Those are
volts.
dangerous. I know that. Yeah.
And
significant amperage as well. This could zap you.
Yeah, absolutely. Not something to take lightly.
Okay.
Up top here, create an array of copper nails with a companion set of copper pipes on the other side. Put a substantial amount of voltage from one to the other. You create 2 poles, and you don't get an arcing if you get these too close.
Can't get them too close.
If you get them too close, you will start getting arcing, but without having them that close, you're starting to generate ions. The ions will flow from one pole to the other, and as they flow, they are creating some momentum with the air molecules that are around the ions. The ions get collected by the secondary pole, but those air molecules continue to move. So what you can see with this
have a little sail.
Demo,
this will be our ion sail here.
Yeah, and so,
piece of tissue.
This little tiny piece of tissue, and we just tore this off off of a roll of tissue paper just to show, because you needed something super lightweight, but it will show the movement of the air without any moving parts. So this is a bladeless fan in a sense.
Wow.
Take this, scale it up, make it much more efficient, put it into a rocket, set it up so it's running for weeks or months or years at a time, and you can move a spacecraft starting from a very slow pace to a very, very high pace with a minimal amount of fuel.
Neat.
Yeah, I think there was one of the stats that I read said that in some of the tests that the JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, was doing, they got the equivalent amount of thrust generated over a course of, I think, maybe 3 years of time using 480 pounds of, I think it was xenon as the particulates that were being pushed out. The equivalent, instead of 480s, if they had used a liquid fuel, a liquid rocket fuel, would have been 10,000 kilograms.
Wow.
So,
you have to be patient because your acceleration is slow, but it is continuous, and that makes a difference. I take it you're not going to plug this in?
I'm not going to plug this one in today.
Come on. What could possibly go wrong?
There's a couple things that could go wrong.
Oh, here.
That's what makes the job fun.
Here, let's plug it in and see how it works. Get a close-up of it. Oh, amazing! It's incredible.
That power.
Give the kid a college scholarship. All of these things could get you in trouble with the Department of Homeland Security, but none of them are illegal. I just want to point that out. Hey, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Are you going to New York now? Is that your next step, Mike?
That's, yep. First stop is MakerCon, which is a couple days before Maker Faire. Great discussion with, sort of an inward-facing discussion with makers. 2 days after that, Maker Faire kicks off.
Fun.
I can't wait.
Fun.
Yeah.
Rafe, you have the best job.
I do have the best job. I am so thrilled to be traveling around the world, going to Maker Fairs and putting out the magazine and working with guys who are building like cool stuff. It's awesome.
It's more than a movement. I really feel like it's an important thing to do to get people making, to get them touching this stuff, figuring out how it works. Some making is with programming, doesn't have to all be hardware, but there's a lot of making that can be done, and I think that's great.
Every project that you do, every make project involves learning multiple skills.
Yeah.
Software and hardware engineering, electronics, woodworking, arc welding. I mean, everything we do is a multidisciplinary project, and every time you make something, you have to learn something new. It's just, it really keeps the brain alive.
You have a little something for our audience.
Yeah, so if you are in the New York area, I've got two little somethings.
Okay.
If you're in the New York area and you want to come to the Maker Faire, which is the 26th and 27th, which is, there'll be 100,000 of our dearest friends there. It is amazing at the New York Science Museum out in Queens. It's going to be epic. We have a 15% off discount code, which will put the, I think you'll put the code up for. So get tickets and bring the whole family. It is really epically fun.
There's the code on your screen, and take advantage of that. Should they go to where should they go? MakeZine.com or
the link is direct to the tickets.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So
there you go.
The other thing is we have kits. We make make kits. We have great products, drones and stuff like that on the Maker Shed. And if you go to makershed.com and use the code SCREENSAVERS, you get 15% off anything, and that's good for another week.
Oh, so I can go there and get the parts I need to do these projects.
You can get the particle board parts and the relays and all that stuff on makershed.com.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Makershed.com, and there's your offer code.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Both of you. It's really great to see you, Mike, and thanks for doing such a great job. This is so exciting. Makes me want to make.
You should.
Make me make. Before you travel to a foreign country, Ian Thompson has a tip for managing your important travel documents. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Ian Thompson, a reporter with the Register in San Francisco. Now, if you're traveling overseas and you're a bit worried about security, there is the possibility that you are going to lose your wallet or bags on the way there, either by the airline or by somebody stealing them from you. Now, before you go, take PDFs of all your important documents, such as your passports, any visa, birth certificate is always useful, and maybe some bank details as well. Leave those with someone you trust, and that means if you do get ripped off when you're overseas, you can get quick emails back in, which not only establish your bona fides with the local police, but also make it much, much easier to get those documents back once the time comes.
That was cool. Now, by the way, we should mention that Mike and his team documented the clock that Ahmed made, the clock that got him in so much trouble in Irving, Texas. You guys actually took a look at his clock and figured out everything that's in there.
Yeah, basically, it's a clock. It's the guts of...
No kidding.
Yeah, it's completely harmless. It's the guts of a clock that you could buy on Amazon for like 20 bucks. And he just took it apart and slapped it into a case.
Nice.
It's really the most innocent project I've ever seen.
A lot of people were who found that out and saw that on Make said, well, you see, this kid was, I don't know what, he was making stuff up. But that's what the process of making begins with.
This is how you start.
Yeah.
You take stuff apart, you puzzle it apart, you puzzle it, what does that do, what does that do?
Right.
And then as you learn to be a more advanced maker, then you start to tinker with it.
My guess is Ahmed could do all sorts of stuff, and I hope.
Well,
he
now
will.
he's got all the opportunity in the
He sure
world. but
does.
MIT is saying to him, literally, that somebody from MIT say, "You are the kind of student we want."
I love that. I love that. Hey, it's time for another call for help. And we're going to travel farther with this call for help than we have ever traveled before.
To space?
Well, almost. To Northern Territories in Australia. Darwin. Hello, Dr. Nash.
Right. My question is, I've upgraded my MacBook Pro to a new Retina MacBook Pro, and I have the old one lying around. So I removed the optical drive, put in another hard disk there with a caddy, and I've dumped in all my movies into that. And I'm a Plex Pro user. Now, when I shut the computer, it goes into, I can use it in clamshell mode, but it gets really hot. I'm wondering if there is a way to disassemble the screen or to remove the batteries and run it like a Mac Mini, the MacBook Pro like a Mac Mini. I plug it in, it works. I plug it off, it doesn't work. That way, this will be a server for my Plex Pro, and I can watch all my movies and take it from there.
So I also have an old MacBook Pro just lying around. This sounds like a good project to me. One of the things that MacBook Pros do, and you mentioned this, that's really cool, is, and this was when they were designed to hook this up to a cinema display, is you can close the MacBook Pro, keep it closed, and use it as if it were a dedicated computer. But you're saying it's getting too hot if you do that?
That's right.
Shouldn't get hot, frankly.
But
he
yeah,
did
but it
put an
does.
extra terabyte drive in the optical drive slot. I've done that as well.
There are periods in Apple history where they have machines that just run hot. And
could he? I mean, you've already done this. You remove these. What is it? 12 screws on the bottom. You just take the bottom off and maybe let it operate that way.
Sure.
Okay, that's a nice idea.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
If you need it, you could blow air, have little fans blowing on the thing.
But I think what he wants to do, he wants to keep it in an enclosure or a stand that he likes. And
that's right.
That's a maker job.
It's either you're going to have to modify your Mac or you're going to have to modify the enclosure if you've got a computer that runs hot. And some machines do.
I'd like to modify the Mac. I'd like to modify the Mac, make it run like a Mac Mini. I mean, I plug it in and it works.
Right.
I plug it off and it doesn't work.
I think that's doable. The problem is you're not going to be able to, you don't want to cut the circuit board up.
You're not going to cut the circuit board up.
Don't cut the circuit board up. So what you're going to do is I guess, remove all the, let's take a look. This is an iFixit break teardown of the MacBook Pro. And you can see them taking it apart. You can, I presume, pry everything out of here. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work if not attached to the case, Rafe, right?
Oh, I do.
It's
Apple. I mean, if
there might be relays or something on there?
Well, first, if you take the screen off, maybe it'll work. I don't know. I haven't tried it, but chances are it'll throw up 100 error codes and just not work.
The screen is attached by a ribbon cable to the logic board, and you could at least try it, remove it, and see what happens.
Sure.
Worst case, you leave the screen on. You don't have it do anything. You just leave it connected, right?
Yeah, but if you have one of these old Macs, and this model sounds like, and you run it closed, it'll overheat.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yes.
So you need to 3D print. You have a 3D printer lying around, Dr. Nash? You need a 3D print, a case with more space in it, and maybe even put some fans in it.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to do that. Okay. He wants to modify the Mac.
You want to modify the
highly
case?
engineered, and by the way, poorly engineered, that particular model because it runs hot.
Right.
Device.
Well,
he wants to modify that instead of his case.
It's running
for some
hot.
reason because he happens to like the stand that it's in.
It
which
may
is
not
made
be
out of what? Your stand.
Wood.
Wood.
Even better. A non-conductive material. It'll hold that heat right in there.
But you can also cut holes in it and put some fans in it.
Put some fans in it. In
I
fact,
find a way to put fans in the. I would find a way to put fans in the stand. Yeah.
And not worry about it. I think we shouldn't blame Apple for the overheating because, as you heard, he replaced the optical drive, the CD-ROM, the DVD-ROM. You can do this. You can get a kit from Otherworld Computing. He replaced it with a 1 terabyte hard drive. He's got a second hard drive in there that was never designed. Yeah. That's why it's overheating.
It's a drive.
I have 2 1 terabyte hard drives inside.
That's why it's overheating. But I agree with you. In fact, if you go to eBay for $5, you can buy something that it's designed for laptops that overheat.
True.
It goes under them. It has 5 fans, connects to the USB port. It's powered by USB.
Get a laptop cooler. Yeah.
It's called a laptop cooler. They're cheap on eBay. You put that on the wooden stand. That's gonna. I think that might even be enough to make it work.
If it fits. Do you have any room there in the stand?
Yes, I do have. Yes, I do have some room in the stand. Yes, I can put. I can put a laptop cooler.
See that
Laptop, put a fan under there.
$18.99.
Get some airflow around the edges.
Light cooling stand, powerful 5 fan. And it's blue. It'll be pretty. Yeah. Now, the only thing, of course, is the one thing you don't want on a home theater PC is fans, because what you want is something that sits there silently.
Right.
Silently, yes, absolutely.
This is going to be the opposite of silent.
I'm a bit of an audiophile as well, so.
Oh, great. Or you could just buy a Raspberry Pi. No, I think this will work. I think that's the key, is better cooling. Get one of those laptop coolers. Then you won't have to cut the case or do anything fancy or weird with it.
But the second thing I was thinking of is put this far away in another room, and then when the new Apple TV comes in, then I'm fine.
You said you're using it as a Plex server, so it's networked.
Yes.
And so are you
perfect?
Yeah. So you can
keep it in the closet. You don't care how noisy it is.
As long as the closet has ventilation. Airflow is your friend.
Here's another article we found that actually uses Plex, does exactly the thing that you were talking about. Does it go into fixing the overheating problem? It's just really how to set it up with Plex and do it like that.
Plex is pretty awesome, by the way.
You could.
Plex is awesome, and if the new Plex app comes for the Apple TV, the Apple TV.
Won't that be awesome? You know what I use Plex with, which you might also look at, is the Android TV. I use the NVIDIA Shield, and you can download. It's legal. Put Plex on there. It's also a great choice.
I got it on my Roku.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still need the server somewhere.
Right.
You know,
that's what this is for.
That's right. Yep.
That's what this old computer. Hey, that's a new idea for a show. We should do that. This old computer.
Yeah.
That's a good. Ooh.
This old computer. Yeah.
This old computer.
I like that.
I'm going to copyright that one.
Okay, you can have it, Dr. Nash. Great to talk to you in Darwin. Nice to see you.
Oh, nice to see you as well.
Take care. Bye-bye. Yeah, you're right. The way that, in fact, it's not just Apple. All laptops are custom engineered to fit all that stuff in a special case, in a specific setup. You mess with it at your peril.
Yeah, and the Macs, at least they've got metal bodies, which are nice big heat sinks.
Well, and that's what I wonder. Which part of this is the heat sink? It's almost certainly but the top's got the screen. I'm thinking the bottom is where the heat's going. There's a little vent here.
Heat rises.
If he puts a fan underneath that,
it'll help.
That's going to help an awful lot, I would think.
Help. They also have. You also need to make sure that the fans in the machine are actually working.
It may be that's why it's overheating. Yeah. It might just be so old, or there's dust and dirt and stuff in there. If you'd like to be on the show and have this equally valid, wonderful advice, you can. All you have to do is send me an email. Watch.
Need tech help? The new screensavers are here with answers. Email your tech questions to newscreensavers@twit.tv.
Coming up, virtual reality in space. I'm really excited about this one. But first, a word from ProXPN. We were talking about Tor. We were talking about privacy online. You know, if you watch our shows, that you don't want to sit in your coffee shop with your laptop and do private stuff, because that is a public network, and you're on that public network, and anyone else in that coffee shop can see what you're doing. It may even be that your internet service provider is spying on you as well. The best solution, the one we've recommended all along, ProXPN. It's an open VPN, which means your data is encrypted as it travels through that tunnel. 512-bit encryption tunnel, 2048-bit encryption key. By the way, if your hardware doesn't support OpenVPN, it also works with PPTP, which some mobile devices require. Although I am happy to say they also have Android and iPhone apps, which means you can use OpenVPN with those devices. We're big fans of ProXPN. You'll be able to bypass geographical restrictions for internet content and online video with worldwide servers. US, UK, they've got them in Singapore, they've got them in Amsterdam, all over the world. They've been adding servers like crazy. Now more servers, improved speeds, and you can try it right now. We got a great review from Steve Gibson. In fact, one of the things Steve said to him, the ProXPN guys, is don't log. Zero logging. That's critical for privacy. They said, okay, we're going to do it. Zero logging. Unlike other VPNs, they keep no record of your online activity. There's no IPv6 traffic leakage. DNS hijacking is impossible because they're fully protected. They keep their software up to date. Protect yourself. Protect your privacy. Do it for a great price. In fact, normally it's $10 a month for their Pro version, the premium version. If you use the offer code NSS50 at checkout, 50% off the monthly price when you sign up for a 12-month subscription. And that is not just for the first year. That's good for the lifetime of your account. 50% off the monthly price, but you have to sign up for a year. That's less than $5 a month. And of course, if you're not satisfied, you can cancel within 7 days for a full refund. ProXPN.com/twit. Don't forget that offer code NSS50. NSS50. And we thank ProXPN for the support that they give us for the new screensavers. I see an Oculus Rift. I'm excited. I'm going to get to go in space VR. Welcome to the new screensavers.
Thanks for having us.
Now, tell us a little bit about Space VR.
So we're a small startup in San Francisco working on putting a virtual reality camera on the International Space Station so that anyone can experience what it's like to be there.
Wow. And what does it take to do something like put a camera on the International Space Station?
So you have to work with the right people. We're working with a company called Nanoracks, and they do a large majority of the private activity on the International Space Station.
This is not your first time at the rodeo. Not your first Kickstarter.
This is my second Kickstarter.
What was your first Kickstarter?
So I started up I helped start up a hackerspace in Tampa.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, so we did about 15K on our last Kickstarter.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love hackerspaces. You must love what we're doing over here with the Maker
absolutely.
stuff. Yeah. So Ryan, where is your Kickstarter? What's the name of the Kickstarter
Yeah,
project?
so just Space VR, step into space. Just Google it. It'll be
All
the
right,
first thing that
Space
comes up.
VR. And it's going to work with, now what is this an Oculus Rift?
This
what is
is
this?
a Gear VR.
I have a Gear VR.
Yeah.
So it'll work with that.
Yes.
And I'll be able to use my Samsung Galaxy S6 or Note 5, or which one is it?
Note
It's the
4.
S6 and the Note 4.
Yeah.
And then how will this work? Will there be some special software that's on this Android
Yeah, so
store?
we're building out a platform. We're looking to be a device agnostic, so anyone.
Oh, so
can
it won't
use,
matter if you have a Gear VR.
So
Okay,
it's
good.
we're gonna try and reach it.
Actually,
all
YouTube
the
does this
devices.
now too, right? You'd be able to see it on YouTube, I presume.
Mm-hmm. We have to keep control of the content because that's how we're making money, and that's how we're going to keep doing.
So people will pay to
things.
access it?
Yeah, that's.
And how much do you anticipate it's going to cost?
We're looking at $10 a month, but if
Oh.
you go to our Kickstarter for only $50, you can have all the content we ever make.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Will you be able to do it live, or will it only be videoed and
So
then
the original
transmitted down?
idea of Space VR was to do live, but that's a huge technical hurdle. It's because the ISS is like
Bandwidth.
60 megabits per second.
Yeah.
So it's pretty rough.
Yeah. So you'll record. You'll have to get an astronaut to support you on this,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So somebody's going to come take the chip out of the camera. What kind of camera are you going to use?
Yeah, so we're building our own camera that it uses GoPros, and they're just soldered together to record one sphere. And so we're making it very simple for the astronauts. So just one click recording, and then they just put it back where it goes, and then it'll downlink. And
Will
do
the
all
camera
things.
be inside the ISS?
Yeah,
or-
inside.
So it'll be looking out the window? What am I going to be seeing?
Yeah, the cupola module is the viewing port of the ISS. It's where you see all the astronauts and you see all the windows on Earth, and that's what we're targeting.
That's great. Well, good luck. I worry, though, that the astronauts are going to say, what is this camera here? And they're going to push it out of the way.
Yeah, that's a worry we have as well.
Get that camera out of my cupola. There's enough room in there for them and the camera. How big is the camera like?
Yeah, so it won't be a permanent installation. In the cupola.
So they'll put it in
just
there,
temporarily, yeah.
do some shooting, take it out, take the SD card or whatever it is, and port it up.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How's the project? Can we see the project? How's it going so far?
Yeah, it's going really well. It's been
Oh,
11
good.
days. We're almost at half.
Halfway there?
Yep.
And part of the reason people are participating is because they'd like to get that $50 deal, unlimited use of Space VR, $45,000 on the way to. By the time this airs, it'll be over $100,000. That's my prediction.
I hope so too.
Ryan T. Holmes, congratulations. This sounds like a great,
Thank you.
Great Kickstarter project, and good luck to you. We're going to answer final emails in just a bit, but first, our very favorite photographer. Well, I can't say that, but one of them, certainly, he's right up there in the top 10. Frederick Van Johnson with a tip.
Hi there, my name is Frederick Van Johnson from thisweekinphoto.com. This tip is about video. So most of us have been taking lots of photos. We love taking photos. We love sharing photos online. But did you know that video is taking off? Start shooting videos. Do video clips instead of photos, or mix them together. Most cameras, camera phones, etc. have the ability to do really good video. So start using that and start sharing that online. Most people see photos all the time, but when they see video online, they stop and watch. It's more engaging. And that's my tip.
You know, I haven't once worn my pirate hat, and we haven't talked like a pirate all day. So, bring us the mailbag, will ya? You scurvy knave. You know what, by the way?
Yes.
This all started because I noticed that Karsten brought donuts. And I didn't know this, but apparently, and this is a free ad, Krispy Kreme, if you go into the Krispy Kreme today...
Don't shake the donut.
What's in here? If you go into Krispy Kreme today and you talk like a pirate, you get a free donut. If you dress like a pirate, would you like a Krispy Kreme?
Not right now.
I tell you what, nothing worse than day old Krispy Kreme. So there you go. That's why there's 6 left. All right, I'll have one. Thank you. Thanks for asking. Talk like a pirate. You ready for some mail?
Aye.
Arr. Here you go. You take one and I'll take one. Thank you, Rafe. It's great to have Rafe Needleman here from Make Magazine, editor-in-chief.
Yes, sir.
Not just of the magazine, of the whole dang enterprise.
Yeah, we got books, we got shows, we got conferences, we got content stuff. New stuff. Maker
I don't know
Camp,
about
with
you,
educational
but
content.
you put on a pirate hat, everything goes out of your mind completely.
Yes.
Hi, Leo and friends. I've recently upgraded from a Windows 7 to a Windows 10 on my Toshiba laptop. Okay. Following along at home? I'd like to replace my main board in the laptop. Oh, but now I'm reading the Windows 10 product key is stored at Redmond. And worse, tied to my specific laptop ID. If I change the main board, will Windows 10 not work with the replaced main board? I think this is unique to the upgrade program. In the past, the way Windows Genuine Advantage, the pseudonymously or named copy protection, WGA, would allow you to change a certain number of components before it would complain. And then if it complained, our advice was call Microsoft. They were usually pretty good about
I've done this.
Resetting it.
Yeah.
I think it's a little different with this upgrade.
Is it?
Yeah, I think my sense of it is, and we've talked a lot about this, and nobody really knows because it's so early, nobody's really tried this. But my sense is, and Paul Thurrott says this, that the Windows 10 upgrade is associated with that computer.
Well,
not any other computer. It's not associated to you even. It's associated to that computer.
Yeah. I now have pirate hat hair, thanks to you.
It's a new kind of hat hair. So my guess is that not only will it not work, but there won't be any recourse. You won't be able to call Microsoft. They'll say, you know, that free upgrade was for that, because the motherboard is the computer.
Yeah, it is. And I have two things about this. First of all, unless you're replacing the motherboard with the exact same motherboard that came in your computer, good luck.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you're doing a home build, I mean, I've done this on home builds. You swap out parts all the day long.
But
because
you need all new drivers.
Yeah, but all the mounting points are there for every single motherboard ever made.
Right.
But
on that case, you mean?
Right. But if you're doing a laptop,
it's a laptop.
Is that is it a laptop?
It is.
Yeah. So you want to get a new motherboard laptop that fits in the old motherboard.
You
old
can't
laptop.
do that.
No, you really can't. Unless it's the same model, you're getting it used or something like that. So that's thing one. First of all, very difficult brain transplant surgery right there.
Yeah.
Second thing though is keep in mind on the flip side of the difficulty factor here, the Windows 10 upgrade is free.
That's right.
Now, if you get a raw motherboard without Windows on it, if you have an old copy of Windows 7 lying around, you can upgrade to 10 for free, forever.
Right.
Microsoft will let you do that.
Right.
So there is that.
If you have some other version of Windows lying around, you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But I think you actually pinpointed the biggest problem, which is taking a Toshiba laptop and replacing the main board.
Yeah, lots of luck.
That's going to be challenging.
Unless he has two old similar ones, and one of them's broken. You want to kind of Frankenstein together.
Maybe he has that.
Yeah.
You have.
I have
question
another.
There? Yes. Do not eat these.
What is the capital? No.
Sis boom ba.
Aloha, guys. I have an iPad 2 and the screen turns to a red hue.
Oh.
I heard that the video ribbon connector sometimes gets loose, which causes the screen to turn colors. Does that sound correct? Can I fix it by tapping on the side like you see on YouTube videos?
Yes, there are videos with that.
Is there some...
Yes.
I have a story to tell you about that.
Okay.
Is there somewhere to get it fixed cheaply? Even on iFixit, there are no clear answers. Well...
There are videos of people doing this and it fixes it.
Did you know...
Yes.
That on the Apple, now you will.
Yes.
That on the Apple III, not the Apple II, the Apple III, which was a unified keyboard thing.
Much benighted Apple
Yes,
III that
which I used-
overheated like crazy.
Yes, and what would happen was the chips would wiggle themselves out in the heat, and the machine would shut off. And the honest solution, because I was an Apple tech at the time of the Apple III came out, the honest-to-God solution was to lift up this big device, the keyboard side, a few inches, and then drop it onto the table, and it would reseat the chips, and it would start working again until it overheated again.
Crazy.
Anyway.
I don't recommend that with a new iPad.
So Apple
an
has
old
a
iPad.
history of wiggly connectors. So I would try. I would try.
These are surface mounted.
I would try smacking it first, and if it doesn't work, then call iCracked in
look
Honolulu.
Look at that. Look at that. So Honolulu, there's a company called iCrack.
Yeah.
They're actually all over the country.
And they'll actually make house calls and fix it for
They
about
come
100
to your house.
Yeah, $100 they might be able to fix it.
That is actually cool.
Yeah.
And the reason this works is there's a fairly brisk aftermarket in parts for iPhones and iPads.
Yeah.
I don't know if Apple sells them directly. I have a feeling there's some sort of gray market system going.
Yeah, this is pretty much there are no user serviceable parts inside these things.
far
Even
from
taking
it.
them apart requires special tools.
Yeah, you need a spudger.
You do. You have to be an expert spudger.
You should watch these videos on iFixit. They use special heat things, and there it is, the iPad 2 GSM LCD replacement. That's so specific that it's for the LCD version.
This requires a microwave?
What?
Wait a minute.
No, they put the eye opener. This is iFixit.
Okay.
They put the eye opener, which is basically just a thing that heats up in a microwave.
Oh, so to loosen the glue.
And then they put it on here because you
Right.
don't want to microwave the.
You do not want to microwave your computer.
And it warms the glue slowly,
No.
gently.
Yes.
And lets it kind of release.
It's the opposite of the.
You know what I love? People
Yes.
watch the show are makers. They are do-it-yourselfers. You can see from the questions we get.
Yep.
They aren't content to just go out and buy a product and use it until it runs out of juice and then throw it away. They want to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, I'm thinking about those $50 Amazon tablets.
Yeah.
Which Amazon makes money when you buy stuff on Amazon.
They
so
don't care. They don't have to make money on the
yeah,
tablet.
but that's a heck of a
Think about
bare
that.
bones product. You could do anything with those things. It's an Android tablet. $50.
Have they been rooted
Put
yet?
in your
Have they been hacked yet? I bet you they will be.
Take it apart.
Yeah.
If it
find
goes wrong,
out.
you got another one. They're only $50. Buy them
I got a
6 packs.
dozen. Actually, we have 18.
Yeah. I love that.
Rafe, you're
Raw
the greatest.
materials.
It's so nice to see you. I've known you for years, from CNET to Yahoo to Evernote, now on to...
I cannot hold a job to save my life.
Well, it's been 20 years. It's pretty good. That's a good record for 20 years.
Thank you.
But I'm thrilled that you're at Make, because that's a great company doing great stuff. And,
I have never worked at a place that I believe in more than this.
Yeah.
It is so much fun.
Yeah, what fun.
Yeah.
Great to see you. Come
You
back
too.
soon, and
Thank
thanks for bringing Mike along, and we'll see you in New York. I won't, but Father Robert will see you in New York at Maker Faire.
Tell him to look me up. I'll show him around. That'll be
Good.
awesome. Yeah.
He will. I'll make sure he does.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you all for being here. We do the new Screensavers Saturday afternoons right after the radio show, about 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 2200 UTC. You can watch live. You'll see all the flubs, all the screw-ups, the pirate costumes, which we're going to edit out of the final release. If you can't watch it on the show on the internet, you can always watch it after the fact. We have audio and video available from twit.tv/NSS or wherever you subscribe to podcasts. And we do love having a live studio audience, and we always have great fun in here. Please email tickets@twit.tv if you'd like to be here. Now, donuts for everyone. We'll see you next time on the new Screensavers. Bye-bye, everybody.